Hello, John from Peter Tyson. Everybody's getting a little fizzy over the new WiiM Ultra. It is very cheap for its specification, but is it the best option for you, or are you better spending that little bit extra cash? No clickbait titles, no nonsense. Let's just crack on. The WiiM Ultra is a hi-fi streamer. A relatively inexpensive hi-fi streamer at that. There is no onboard amplifier. You will need to connect it to a pair of powered speakers or an external amplifier, but more on that later. The first thing you'll notice is the nicely finished black glass front fascia, containing the 3.5-inch touchscreen. Alongside it sits the volume knob. This can be fixed or variable depending on the amp or powered speakers that you're connecting to. And a 3.5mm headphone jack, so that you can connect headphones to the onboard headphone amp. The build is surprisingly decent for the price. No nasty tacky plastics, the aluminium casing makes the WiiM Ultra feel that little bit more premium than its price tag would suggest. Connection wise, you have power, obviously, and analog RCA inputs. It's built-in phono stage for a turntable, digital toslink in, and a very handy HDMI ARC for connection to a TV, and also USB audio. Outputs include analog RCA, there's a subwoofer output that includes crossover, phase and level controls in the WiiM Home app, a coax output, trigger out used to sync the power on and off with your external amplifier should it have a matching trigger input, and a digital toslink output. There's also an RJ45 socket should you prefer a wired over a wireless network connection. Wireless streaming is excellent, with a host of streaming services built right into the WiiM Home app. There is Alexa built in and Chromecast should you prefer to use your favourite music app instead. You can also use this to create a multi-room system with other compatible products. There is, however, no AirPlay because Apple reasons. I don't know, to be honest. There is room correction, originally just for Apple and iOS, but now rolled out to Android phones as well. Bear in mind, although it is a nice touch, that phones and devices vary massively, so the results you get will also vary depending on what device you used. Best thing to do is to try it for yourself. If it sounds better, feel free to use it. If it sounds worse, don't be afraid to turn it off and just trust your ears. I've had limited success with any sort of phone-based room correction anyway. It's nowhere near at the level of something like Odyssey or Dirac Live. Obviously, it's not at that sort of price point. There are plenty of sound controls in the app or the touchscreen on the front of the WiiM, should you like to fiddle to your taste or correct a few issues in your room. I say just trust your ears. There is no substitute for spending that little bit of time to get your speakers set up correctly in your room. The WiiM app is fast, setup was super easy. It's a real strong point of the WiiM ecosystem. The touchscreen, however, looks pretty nice, but it's not exactly the snappiest. It gets the job done. It sounds decent enough with appropriate amps and speakers. Will it compare with pricier streamers like Blue Sound or the fantastic Marantz M1 that I covered not long ago? I don't think so. It's certainly not a high-end streamer slayer. Name will not be getting nervous. But it certainly does have its place. Want to add an affordable but good streamer to an old classic hi-fi? Have a compact setup with some active speakers? Maybe for a second room or your office desk? The WiiM Ultra is kinda perfect for that. It's a good partner for something like the Acoustics M40 or M40. Or maybe the ELAC DCB41s that I covered a while ago. Even if you listen to physical media and you've never tried streaming and you just want to test the waters and get into it. Regardless of your hi-fi level, the WiiM Ultra is a relatively low-cost option to give it a try. Decent enough performance without the big outlay. You may end up keeping the WiiM as it's all you need. It may just lead to further upgrades down the line as you stream more and listen to less physical media. It's all part of the fun of hi-fi, really. So there you go, the WiiM Ultra. Would you give the little WiiM Ultra a go? Let me know down in the comments what you would connect it to. If you'd like to see or hear it here at Peter Tyson in Carlisle, here is the number, should you want to phone ahead, and we'll get it set up for you. Until then, you'll see me in the next video. Take care.